two, 1, 2. Here we go. Here we go. You set up there?
Nobody disses me.
Here we go. Here we go. Can everybody hear me? Yes, hey, thank you for coming out. I'm G's Records.
Nobody disses me.
This is Legend Beats and Grooves. We came up with this idea, me and my man Jim Slice right here, about 10 years ago. Coming back from a New York concert. And we said, hey, we need to bring these DJs to Connecticut and show what they're doing and let you guys know what they're doing. In the meantime, Jim Slice is working on a documentary for Connecticut's first hip-hop group, the Skinny Boys. And I'm going to let him explain it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Slice. A little background story. I had a friend, and he was a dancer for a group by the name of EPMD, for those that go back. And his name was Steezo. So he started out doing hip-hop dances, and EPMD came to New Haven one day doing a show, and they seen him perform on the dance floor and was like, hey, come on tour with us. So that got the ball rolling for him. So as he got off the Run House tour with Run DMC back in the 80s, he came home, we bumped into each other. We started talking about, why don't you do your own thing from EPMD? We ended up going into the Tri-Nozzle Studios in Wallingford, doing the demo tape, went to Sleeping Bag Records, and we got the record there. So that's how that happens. That's how I become Jim Slice. Chicka the DJ for Steezo. So now, I'm watching Netflix, and I noticed they have a show called Evolution of Hip Hop. And in that show, the host, he'll go all the way to Chicago, Detroit, down south, New York talking about hip hop, West Coast talking about hip hop, but never once he came to New England or he came to Connecticut to talk about this region. And so fine. In my head, I'm like, well, it's obviously no one's gonna really care about our music and what we do here, so we have to put our own story out. So in 1985, the Skinny Boys came out with their single called We're Awesome. And they ran from like 85, I wanna say, to 89. So we sat down and we just put our own little money into it about getting this documentary called Skinny Boys, the weight gain documentary. Here's a little snippet of what we've been doing so far. Thank you.
With the new Skinny Boy sound, it's the ultimate of all throwdown. Here to release the beats of all death sounds, to show you that the boys don't mess around. We create styles, trends we set down, and if they ain't pepped up, we check them. In your face with the souped up stuff, tell you on the strength they can't get it up. 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 We're so skinny, how can we stay this size? We're so energized and so outfitted, demanding who's in control. Skinny boys, we're on a roll. So you go crazy, shock, tell them why you're rough. But don't forget the skinny stuff, because we came on rough. They said it wasn't enough. You're shocked, you better call their bluff. I may be skinny, but I'm a heavyweight. When I'm rocking the stage, it's time to motivate. So let's get it straight, no time to stagnate. There's no doubt in my mind that we fascinate you, the crowd, and everyone around you. We got a pep to get.
In 1985, the Skinny Boys appear in the hip-hop scene. This is the untold story, the Skinny Boys weight gain documentary.
Before you know it, Cool Rap and Boogeyman become what is known as the Tough 2 MCs. We come and we change our name to the Superior Crush. So that consisted of me, Pete, Sean, White Flash. Also, City O, who we call Juice. That was before even the Jock Box came into effect.
What year is this now?
This is still 81, but going into 82.
Okay.
You know? And so I would just say that when my brother came home and said, you know, yo, you're gonna be an MC. You know, PD, Sweet D, ELD, him and my brother would give me like, okay, we're gonna give you like a 4-bar, 8-bar real quick. And then they started doing the 8 bars. Now we're gonna give you a 12-bar segment. So they just started practicing. You know, I was going to practice and, here, do this right here, Sean. And I remember the first thing I did was a song by Stevie Wonder. You know, MCs You Heard. That was like one of our routines that we came up with. You know, it was like, MCs You Heard, the best in Bridgeport City. You've seen us rock, we rockin', you know we give no pity. That was one of the routines that they started me out with. Taking a Stevie Wonder song and then turning it into a routine.
Okay, so when Skinny Boys made their first song, it was a song called We're Awesome. And I think they were still Superior Crush. I probably didn't know them as Skinny Boys as of yet, because we weren't in the same group anymore. And so when they came out with that first song and we heard it, it was like everybody had to take a step up, you know, because this song was, to me, it was incredible. Jay was always nice with making beats and sort of making the drums work. You know, you had human beatboxing, and then you had regular drum programming. Jay.
So at this point, you get pulled in the group with Super J and ELD.
And ELD.
You were all a group. What was the name of that group at that time?
That group became Superior Crush. Yes.
All right.
I mean, I knew Cool Rap, Boogeyman, Twice as Nice. Them dudes were thorough. You know, I knew White Flash. You know, but my brother brought me in at the phase of when the Twice as Nice phased out, and then him and ELD, you know, we came up with Superior Crush.
All right.
Skinny boy,
Oh, I just wanna be like the skinny.
skinny boy,
Oh, I just wanna be like the skinny.
skinny boy,
Oh, I just wanna be like the skinny.
skinny boy.
Oh, I just wanna be like the skinny.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
All right. So now, by 1983, this is when Jock comes in.
Jock came in, we heard the Disco 3, which are now known as the Fat Boys. When we heard that, we were like, this is incredible, you know? This is something new to the game, you know?
I could kind of surmise, you know, how they became the Skinny Boys, because the Fat Boys were out. Fat Boys were doing their thing, and then they was like, hey, you know what? Probably, you know, because they're the Fat Boys, we're gonna be the Skinny Boys, you know?
And Buffy and these guys came out, the Disco 3 known as the Fat Boys, and they later became the Fat Boys. My cousin Jock was already on to something that we didn't even know about.
Where are they now? Ladies and gentlemen of the world, Skinny Boys.
Fresh Fest, baby. Fresh Fest 2010. Skinny Boys. Nothing in life stays the same.
Project without the mic check was dead.
Skinny Boys was the voice that was put to rest.
Mommy, guess who I seen? The Skinny Boys.
Skinny boys, skinny boys, skinny boys. We need weight. Yo, Jay, get easy on the set. There's only one solid reason. You can't debate. We're the Skinny Boys. We need weight. We need weight.
1, 2, 1, 2. Ah, there we go. So yes, that was it. That's just a snippet, little something to show everyone. There's still, I actually have to do another trailer on it, and we're just, hopefully we'll have it out this year. I want to for the 50th anniversary of hip hop this year. So we're gonna focus hopefully by the end of summer or fall. But that was just a little snippet so people can be aware of what's going on. And we'll just keep everybody posted, all right? Thank you very much.
Once again, thanks for coming out, everybody. This is going to be a Triple E event. It's going to be exciting, it's going to be entertaining, and it's going to be, more importantly, educational. So right now, we're going to bring up our panel discussion. Gentlemen, first we're going to bring up Tony Crush from the legendary Cold Crush Brothers, one of our panelists. Oh, he took a, oh, okay. We'll just keep that. And next up, we're going to have Lee Majors, Superior Zam, comes straight out of New Haven. And is Dulio here yet? Not here, okay. And of course, we're going to have the inventor of what is known as scratching, Grand Wizzard Theodore.
Hello, hello.
Check, check.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? A lot of people didn't wake up today, so how's everybody doing?
All right.
1, 2.
There we go.
And of course, as we proceed to give you exactly what you need, and that is a presentation of what we know as legends, beats, and grooves. When I say legends, these gentlemen are living legends. They've been, not in the game, they've been in this industry, in this business, as we are approaching the 50th year of hip-hop, which the birth date of it is August 11th, 1973, a place called Cedric and Cedar in the South Bronx, in the Bronx. So here's the man with the plan.
Check.
This is the man who founded the group that so many people pattern themselves after, including Run DMC. We're talking about Tony Crush from legendary Cold Crush Brothers as he approaches.
Check, 1, 2.
Founded the group. And amazingly enough, they are all still here. And they will be on tour this year for this 50th anniversary, which is amazing. You ask a kid, somebody asked me earlier, they said, where did hip hop come from? I heard it was Sugar Hill Gang, and it was comical actually for us. No, it didn't start with no Sugar Hill Gang. This thing started in community centers. It started in basements. It started in roller skating rinks. It started on the streets, so to speak. And it was started by, obviously, children. Kids. That's who started this thing called hip-hop. Kids who took their mother's records and father's records and started doing the unthinkable. First and foremost, don't touch your mother's and father's records. But these guys went further into it. They touched them. They not only touched them, they spin it backwards. They were scratching, thanks to Theodore. You know, he got caught off. Mama caught him. But, you know, he gave invention to something that, to this day, so many people have patterned much of what they do today. It was this art form called scratching. So at this point, we're going to ask some questions. And if any of y'all can think of something y'all want to ask, I have no problem walking around and to y'all. All you got to do is raise your hand. So my first question to the panelists, because we're going to move right on. Oh, is he here? Oh, okay. There you go. There's a mic over there if somebody wanted to ask some questions. But I was given just a start off, and I'm going to start off with Grand Wizzard Theodore. Who and or what inspired you to want to be a DJ?
Oh, wow. Where do I start? What made me become a DJ? My lifestyle. My mom's played music all the time. She played music when she was cooking. She played music when she was cleaning the house. She played music when she was happy. She played music when she was mad. She played music when she was about to beat our butts, you know, for not washing the dishes, not doing our homework, you know, stuff like that. And there was a show that came on every Saturday called Soul Train. We watched Soul Train every Saturday. And we watched American Bandstand. We watched Don Kirshner's rock concert. Am I telling my age right now, you know? And right there inspired me to love music, to love all genres of music. But when I really decided that I wanted to become a DJ is when I seen my brother Mean Gene and Grandmaster Flash with 2 turntables and a mixer, and that's when it finally hit me, I'm going to become a DJ.
Thank you. Superior Zam?
Yes.
Same
well,
question.
For me, it was searching for the underground sound on New York radio. There was a station called WHBI. The legendary shows where Mr. Magic came on at 2 o'clock in the morning. Supreme Team, 4 o'clock in the morning. And we were so hungry, we would stay up all night to listen before it hit WBLS and Hot 98.7 KISS.
Now, can I share something? I've been on that show. I've been on that show.
And, you know, at that time, I knew that this was something amazing that was getting ready to take over the world. And sure enough, it did in 1979 with the Sugar Hill Gang. But I think that was one of my biggest influences, WHBI.
Tony Crush, same question.
I'm going to try to keep it short. At the time, I was about 12, already working in the record store. And I'm already sort of kind of DJing. Used to have my mother's receiver doing hooky parties with the A and B switch. One turntable on the A, one turntable on the B. But it got real serious when my god brother walked me into a Cool Herc party in 1975. And Herc wasn't playing anything that I was selling in the record store, very little. He might have been playing like maybe 2% of what I was selling in the record store, the top 40, the Big Red and everything. But the music that he was playing, I didn't know. What started hip hop, jazz, rock and roll, it was called funk and soul, no R&B yet. Etta James, Bob James, Dennis Coffey, the Earth, Wind and Fire, before the Earth, Wind and Fire that everybody know. The Ohio players before the Ohio players that everybody know. They changed up their whole style and came back a second time. We used to go to places called One Stop to get our records for the record shop. So my god brother asked me, have you ever heard of Cool Herc? And I said, no, who is he? So he walked me into a place called the Hevalo. And as I walked in, it was like everything just changed. And Herc is playing Melting Pot, and I'm saying, Booker T and who? And this is before the scratching and the cutting. It's just from the beginning to the end of the record. And then he would go to Gil Scott-Heron in the bottle. And I'm saying, who? You know, Cat Stevens, Dog is a Donut. You know, it's like all this stuff that wasn't being played on the radio, wasn't being played nowhere but in Cool Herc party. And as I go to the DJ booth and I'm trying to see what label, anything, and he already got tape over it. And he got 2. So now I'm looking to see the covers, but I'm trying to remember the beat too, the track. So that's what gave me the want to.
So is it safe to say Kool Herc inspired you to want to be a DJ?
Kool Herc and the Herculoids, the first family of hip-hop before it was called hip-hop.
Commercially correct. Next question. Theodore, the Grand Wizzard Theodore. Playing hip-hop songs, does that also identify a person as a hip-hop DJ? And what's the difference, if there is, between somebody who plays hip-hop and somebody who performs hip-hop?
Well, first you have to ask the question, what is hip-hop? To me, hip-hop is all kinds of music. Back in the 70s, we played Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic. You know, we played the group Passport. You know, we played Queen, Another One Bites the Dust.
Foghat.
Yeah, you know, we played all of that music. And now most of these songs are being sampled in hip-hop music today. I would say like 70% of all the music that you hear on these rap songs are songs that was out in the 60s and the 70s, you know? So when I think of hip-hop, I think of all music, you know? Hip-hop is what you make it, you know? I mean, we played funk and soul, we played blue-eyed soul, we played Boz Scaggs, we played the Bee Gees, we played Leo Sayer, we played disco records, we played Van McCoy, we played South Soul Orchestra. You know, we was cutting up all of those disco breaks, and it was hip-hop. But we never called it hip-hop until like 1979, 1980. You know, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
You know? I mean, I'm 60 years old. I'm not scared to say what my age is. You know,
and I'm older than him.
Yeah. I was born in 1963, so I'm 60 years old. March 5th was my birthday, you know? And I've been a DJ for 48 years. Thank you.
How about you, Lee?
I also been DJing 45 years, and I remember in the early days of the Africa Bambaataa Zulu Nation Flyers, before I even got involved, I used to read, and you know, Bambaataa used to have on his flyers, he would always describe what music he was gonna play. And it was always like 7 or 8 different genres on there, you know, soul, calypso. He played everything, funk, soul. And I've always, you know, carried that concept with me, still to this day. You know, right now I'm really heavy into the roller skating community, because the roller skating community, you guys know, it started outside in the parks, then it went to the halls, then it went to the roller rinks. So it's perfect for me to end, you know, my career in DJing in the rinks. Because the great thing about the rinks is because I can play the way I played back in the day. Back in those days, I play everything. You know, that is hip hop. It's the presentation, that's what it is.
Thank you. And for the interest of time, we want to get the answers a little short if we can, because I know there's so much information we're trying to get out in such a short period of time, but we're going to do our best. Tone, same question. The DJ, as far as a hip-hop DJ, or somebody just playing hip-hop?
Well, we try to use the word universal as much as possible because we have no limits. We don't put limits on ourselves. We play everything and anything. If it got a groove, if it got funk, if it got style, we play it. We don't look at what nationality is, because it's all music. That's right. It's not us against them, it's us together. Hip hop, the actual thing behind hip hop is about bringing people together. So we play everything.
Thank you. So as you see, listening to 3 very veteran, skilled, and let's say young men. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
yes.
Young. Hey, because this thing,
I'll
hey,
take that.
hey,
I'll take that.
We young, and I'm saying it young out of love because look how this music has helped preserve us. I mean, I'm like what Theodore said, man, and I'm not ashamed to say how old I am. Who's ashamed to say how old they are? You know, but when this thing first started, there's a misnomer, there's a misconception that, as Theodore greatly put it, it's all music. It's not, there is really, you know, when you talk about defining hip hop, I came up with a acronym, and it's honoring intellectual or innovative performances having an overall purpose. And that purpose is to bring people together in the spirit of peace, love, unity, and having fun. Those are the four cornerstones of what we call the hip-hop culture, for those who may not know. And I know what we're seeing today is not what you're hearing up here, but this is the foundation here. This is where it all started. And unfortunately, we got sidetracked, and as my brother would say, Tony Crush, they put a virus in it. And now you see what it has degraded to in many ways. We weren't talking about hurting each other. We wasn't talking about killing one another. We wasn't talking about, now we did talk about a little gold or little chains or a little money, but it wasn't excessive like it is today. And so we're gonna take it back to the foundation, which is peace, love, unity, and having fun. So if you can remember those four cornerstones, then you understand what hip hop is about, based on coming together for peace, love, unity, and having fun. There is no race, there is no, if you want to say genre, in a sense. It became commercially known as hip hop in 1992, commercially. But in the streets, we called it something totally different. Commercially was called. And now it has become the #1 genre now, as they call it, hip hop in the world. It took over since 2017. Rock and roll was before that. They were the top. But hip hop took that. And let me say this to you before we get into the performances part of it. When I think of hip hop, I think of rap, because it was also known as rap, right? Rhythmic, artistic poetry. We were telling a story. We were young kids telling our story about what was going on in our lives, because as young people, and we know who all are older now, most young people don't get a chance to say nothing. Shut up, go sit down, be quiet. But hip hop became the voice of the people from the street. Well, we couldn't get on TV, we couldn't get on radio, we couldn't do none of that. You heard us in the street. Then it was discovered, and then they took it from the streets and made it commercial. And once the money started getting involved in it, that's when it started, things started to happen, which it wasn't designed to happen to do. Remember again, peace, love, unity, having fun. Also, 5 elements. There's 5 elements, and it all started with what you see up here right now, the DJ. It was with the DJ, it was with the music, it was about the vibration, it was about the pulse, it was about the energy, it was about having people coming together and having a good time, regardless of what music we play. That's what the whole premise of it was. Second part of it would be, in the early days, it was the hype man. It became later known as the microphone controller or the MC. Rappers, they call them, right? Third part of that is what we known as breakdancing. Now, which if you don't know, it has now become universal, as Tony Crush said, and now it's in the Olympics. Breakdancing will be in the Olympics this coming year. The fourth was, and still is, graffiti. Where people would, yes, do criminal tagging trains and writing on walls and disgracing people's, but again, you're talking about kids who had no voice. They had to get their voice, they had to get their message out there somehow. So you walk by and see that train or you see that wall, whoa, who did that? And the first very movie they put out was what? Wild Style. And these gentlemen both here were in that movie. His group, Grand Wizzard Theodore and the Fantastic Romantic 5 MCs, and Tony Tone, Charlie Chase, and the Cold Crush Brothers. They actually had a little basketball battle. Yeah, I didn't know you could rap, Tone.
We won.
But
I do what I have to do when I have to do it.
I hear you, bro. So, and the last piece of this puzzle, and it's really not a puzzle because I'm gonna give you all the pieces so you know how they fit, is the knowledge. The knowledge, the information on not only what we do, but how do you go about doing it? Early groups was taken advantage of like so many other artists in any other genre. Anybody seen the movie Ray? All right, well, there's a part in that movie when Ray Charles says, I want to own my masters. And they said, nobody does that. Ray Charles said, I'm going to own mine. It happened to Prince, bless his soul, happened to Michael Jackson, it happened to the biggest of stars. So what do you think was happening when hip-hop was coming out of the streets and they were signing people? Young men and young women were being taken advantage of by sharks in the industry. So make note of that. They was taken advantage of because, once again, it was started by kids, young teenagers in the streets, and they said, let's take this and we can make some money with this.
I'm trying to get mines right now.
That's
I'm
right.
trying to get my masters.
Masters, publishing, copyrights, mechanical rights. There's a whole business. There's a book called This Business Music. And in that book, it describes that this music industry, 10% of it is entertaining. The 90% of it is the business part of it. But what do young kids know at 16, 17? What do we know about contracts? What do we know about, we just want to get out of the hood, so to speak.
T, can I share this?
Of course you can.
When they came to us for the movie Wild Style, I took the contract home to my mother. And I said, they want us to be in this movie. And she said, who wants you to be in this movie? Why would they want you to be in this movie? So I signed the contract myself because my mother didn't take time to say, okay, we're going to take it to a lawyer or anything. So we wound up signing it ourselves. We got 1% of the gross of the movie to share 6 ways. The last check I got was maybe November, December, $6 check. But it's been almost over 30 years, so I'm still getting checks from it.
6 is better than nothing, right? Yes, but again, you see how this developed, how this happened. They were just taking advantage. It had nothing to do with skill levels, skill set, had nothing to do with their ability, their creativity. It was all about business for those who grabbed the earlier groups. And for us young people, it was all about just getting on, getting signed, getting a deal, making a record. Because once again, we had no voice. So that voice became what we put on records. And that's why, to this day, I don't know if you're familiar with it, you should be. I don't care how young or old, you should know what The Message is by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. That song was put in a vault. And actually, they're going to bring it back up this year, I believe, right? 50 years, the Message. Yeah. Because when you hear the words of that song that was put out in 1982, and they had many more. That's why they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's funny too, right? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But like you said, it's all music. So at this time, we want to bring forth any questions? Anybody? Anybody? Questions? Yes, up to the mic. Boy, she got up there quick.
I have a short question for Theodore. Before you debuted the Scratch at a party, were there any rumors or did people think you were going to do something new or?
When I created the Scratch, I was 12 years old in 1975 and my last year of junior high school. And asked my principal, can I make a cassette for the lunchroom? Because that's where he played music at. First, let me say that what I have is, as far as a DJ is concerned, my skills as a DJ is not a talent. What I have is a gift from God. That's why I'm still here.
So the recording came first? The first time people heard it, it was a recording?
No, the first time people heard it is when I did it in the park, because I made the cassette tape for my junior high school, gave it to my principal. He waited like 3 or 4 days before he actually played it. And it was almost the beginning of the summer because school was about to let out. And that's when all the DJs in the city does all the block parties. That's how we marketed ourselves, because we didn't have internet and Facebook and IG. We didn't have all that stuff back in the days. We had to actually go out in the street, drag our equipment outside in the park, hook it up to the light pole, and play music for everybody in the neighborhood. And when people actually see me DJ, every time people see me DJ, I have something new to do. I was standing on top of a crate. I was really short. And every time people see me DJ, my skills got better and better and better because I was growing as a young man. And like I said earlier, these skills that God gave me is going to be with me for the rest of my life until they throw dirt on me.
Well, I'm sure many DJs have enriched their lives through what you created. So.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to all the DJs around the world that's taken all of the DJ skills, the needle drop, the scratch to different levels and stuff like that. Because no matter where you live at, you can live in Japan, Malaysia, Alaska, Australia. We all go through the same things. Some people go through single parent homes. Some people go to school and still don't learn anything. And some people, drugs and stuff like that. The government not putting money back into the community. That's all the stuff that we went through in the 60s and the 70s in the Bronx. So what the B-boys did was the B-boys B-boyed in the park. They B-boyed in the buildings. They B-boyed in the schools so that they can get all the frustration out of their bodies from all the stuff that's going on in the inner cities. And then you got the graffiti artists. They paint the murals on the trains and on the buildings, on the cars, on the streets. That's why you're seeing so much graffiti all over the place. Then you got the MC that's just writing rhymes and trying to let people know what their thoughts are. You know, whether it be, you got a problem with your girlfriend, you got a problem with drugs, you got a problem at school, single parent homes. You want to write your stuff down in words so that you can tell people what you're thinking and what you're feeling. And then you got the DJ that's just in his room playing music, playing rock music, playing R&B music, playing disco music. This is all the things that we did back in the 60s and 70s when hip-hop was being reinvented. Because we didn't invent hip-hop. Hip-hop was always here since the beginning of time. We just reinvented it.
Why is it called hip-hop? What is the origination of the term hip-hop? Where did it come from?
That's a good question. Hip-hop. Hip. You're real hip. Hip is something that you're hip to everything that's going on. And when you hop, you're hopping to the music. That's what it is. It's hip hop. And Love Bug Starsky, when he coined the phrase, when he's saying a rhyme and he's between rhymes, he'll start saying hip hop, hip hip, hip hip, and then you got Keith Cowboy from Grandmaster Flash in the Furious 5, a friend of ours was getting ready to go to the Army. And he had came to this place called the Black Door, and it was his last night of partying before he was actually getting ready to go to the Army. So Keith Cowboy got on the microphone and said, "Oh yeah, my friend so-and-so is getting ready to go to the Army, so you go into the hip hop, baby, hop, because that's what they do in the Army. They do the cadence, and that's one of the things that it came from, and it just kept going, it kept going, it kept going, and now we celebrating 50 years of it. Another question.
Real quick,
One, it's so exciting to have such an event like this and have the three Skinny Boys in one room is very exciting for me.
Peace and blessings to the Skinny Boys.
And this is a question, you mentioned Tony, you mentioned how universal everything was back then, and I was so inspired. I used to skate at the Stratford roller rink, and your song, you guys did punk rock rap.
Yeah.
I remember.
And that's a great sign of the universal vibe. Where did punk rock rap come from?
Well, in New York, it was the punk rock era. So we wanted to just expand. We were starting to move downtown in the village area, and it was punk rock. So we wanted to expand. So we said, let's make a rap and punk rock record together. That record got us signed to Columbia Records only because they thought it was white kids. They signed us without seeing us because they thought it was white kids, but once they saw us, no promotion. So they tried to shut it down. Hey, thank you. I might have got half a cent off it, but everybody don't know. Punk rock was actually started by a black group called Def. A lot of people don't know that. So I'm happy that we chose to make that record. But like I said, it's universal. So it was just another song to us, really, just to bring our people closer together. That's all.
Thanks again. We get ready to go into the performance side of it, which is going to be very entertaining and exciting, as we just got some education here, some information, some knowledge, and I hope you can share this with others so any misconception of what is now called hip-hop can be liquidated. Let's liquidate it.
Last question for you.
Oh, do you have? Oh, okay. Can we get one more, Gary? I got to talk to my boss. That's my boss. I don't want to get fired now.
We good? All right. Listen, it's real simple. One, I want to thank you for the knowledge up here, and there's a lot of people in the audience who are fans a long time. And you shared some of the actual truths of hip-hop, have a tendency, a lot of lies going around, especially with this newer generation doesn't know. So thank you for that. Tony, I have a question for you, because as we're here, we realize that the rap industry, as we call it, as it's transferred from hip-hop to rap, which is what you guys call as well, is that it has turned into a machine to sell songs, and that's it. The things you talk about really aren't happening, and I think it's critically important that as a community and as an activist that you use a piece and advocate that they use the same rating system that they use in the movie industry for rap music. Because there's a difference between explicit lyrics, is what they basically negotiated back with C. Dolores Tucker and Tipper Gore, which was basically your basic swear words. You had a few things here and there. Right now, it is basically X-rated lyrics that are in these songs. Now, I'm not stepping on anybody who's making the songs. Megan Thee Stallion, whoever wants to make it is fine as adults. But there's no reason your kids should be able to download that song with no restrictions, and they don't have any of that tag. It's all digital. They could easily make that something to help kids and parents make a decision, about their kids, about what they are listening to. I mean, it is adult lyrics that are straight out of a Playboy magazine. Anything that you would never want your kid to either sing along with it. As an adult, you do what you want. But I think that would be an important thing for originators like yourself to help change this, and that empowers our community to help our kids at least understand, and our parents have the power to make that decision, because right now, it does not exist. And that is the hottest thing going on right now, as you know. And I'll finish with this. Record companies, Recording Industry Association of America's target audience is 10 years old to 17. They buy more records than anybody. As an activist, I know this. I'm sure you know this. So what do you guys think? I'm done.
Well, give them a hand.
Hey, we're pressed for time, so...
Okay, I'll shoot it. I won't throw it. I'll shoot it.
Both barrels.
The whole thing about hip-hop is positive life, friendly community. Everything is supposed to be uplifting. As I'm coming up, we had all the negative 300 gangs in the Bronx and all that we chose hip hop as our movement to get away from all that negative stuff. The Bronx is burning, you know, you can see 3 miles this way and it's all rubbish. We wanted a better life because it wasn't coming to us, so we had to start fighting for it. But the adults didn't step in. I'm asking the adults to step in now because they trying to take hip hop. Hip hop is something you live, not just something you do. So if you want a better life for yourself, for your kids, for your grandkids, we got to start writing to these politicians and stuff and making them accountable for this stuff. I was in a situation, and I'm talking to people 10 years younger than me, and they saying, well, Malcolm is dead, King is dead. And I'm saying, well, why can't this be a solid movement to make things better? And they said, let me tell you something. He said the same people that would come in here and kill all of us will be the same people telling our family we're gonna find out who did it. We gotta make all them people accountable for how we live. We wanna live more positive. We wanna live more friendly. Nobody leaves home and wanna not make it back home. We gotta make our communities more positive, more friendly. I gotta go.
Yeah, like I said, as you see the passion in this man's voice, you know, and we're all the same with this. We want to get back to the basics. And right now, with the interest of time, I'm going to bring on the man. Oh, we want to thank the panel. Well, let's go ahead. Y'all stand up, okay? See, they got this clock ticking in back.
You're welcome.
Yeah, stand up, I know. And see, you all right. No cane, no wheelchairs, no handicap access needed. They're still walking off. Got to have some fun, man. It's about having some fun. If you can't have fun doing what you're doing, you need to find something to do to have some fun. Constructive, that is. And right now, no further ado, I must bring on the man, the living legend, the one known as the creator of the scratch, DJ Grand Wizzard Theodore.
MCs act like they don't know. 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 This is what you waited all year for. The hardcore, that's what KRS is here for. Big up Grand Wizzard Theodore. Big up Grand. 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 Grand War. All year for. The hardcore, that's what KRS is here for. Big up Grand Wizzard Theodore getting ill. If you see, then you saw. I mean, you're grill with mad skill.
And this is done with records, real records, no computer. This is why we call it an art form. Musical expression.
funky rhyme with a funky style. I got a funky rhyme with a funky style. I got a funky rhyme with a funky style. I got a funky rhyme with a funky style. People Rickety Rocket was my favorite cartoon. After marriage, the honeymoon. I'll be damned, gag me with a spoon. Who loves Papa out of the goon? Ladies, let your body flow. Send a chill up your spine like an Eskimo. Here's a backstage pass to a funky show. Come give me a kiss under the mistletoe. Great night, my life's like a fairy tale. Walker was a great big whale. I knew a fat girl who broke the scale. You won't tell, I won't tell.
See, it's all about the timing. Got out of timing as well. Got out of timing. See that? Got to keep it on beat. You see that? He's not done. Now check this out. He's holding it. There you go. One turn. Once again. See, can I get a little more hot over here? Now you see why. He says this what he got is not a skill or a talent, it's a gift from God. And I think he demonstrated that in a short little bit of time, the timing, and even played the blind man for a moment there. But he wasn't off beat ever. That is a gift from God, as he most eloquently put it. The man, the living legend, the master, the inventor of the scratch, Grand Wizzard Theodore. Give him a hand, y'all. Next, coming up, Connecticut's own, straight out of Norwalk, Connecticut. That's right, Norwalk. He's on Hot 93.7 out of, they say Hartford, but we know it's where? Farmington. Okay, that's what it is, right, Billy? It works, though, right? It works. It's a great marketing tool. You can't say you're from Farmington, like Farmington. That don't sound right. Any of us in Connecticut know about Farmington, and when you think of Farmington, you think of, and then believe me, it ain't music. You know what I mean? So that's why they say Hartford's #1 for hip hop and R&B. This gentleman has been on the scene for many, many years. I love this brother. I love all my brothers. I love all my people. I love humanity. I thank him for keeping turntablism. When I mean turntablism, I'm talking about he keeps the turntables alive. Technology has caused people to, let's say it like this. They went from being DJs to BJs. BJs, if you don't know what a BJ is, I know technology, and we ain't against technology, but, you know, people got lazy and they started pressing buttons. And they just got up there pushing buttons. You think they're playing a beatbox or something. But this gentleman kept them turntables hot and on fire, and he's been doing it for a couple years now. 38? Okay, 38. 38 years. And he's gonna do a set on, yes, not just a 12-inch record or a 12-inch what we call single. He's not gonna use a whole platter. He's gonna use a 45. A 45. Now, you know, if you touch your mother's and father's 45s back in them days, man, you really gonna get hurt. You don't touch mom and daddy records, man. You know, we had that record player where they used to drop the record onto the necks. Y'all, come on, y'all old enough in here to know what I'm talking about. Act like you don't. But this gentleman's gonna do some skill sets on a 45. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what he's able to do. And it takes hand-eye coordination skill, and he's gotta be quick, and he's gotta be light. You know, he's not light on his feet. He's known as the man with the sharpest hands in the land. Let's bring on my man, DJ Billy Busch.
And the magnificent. I'm back, but the shaker was so most thundering, storming, sound and soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Honey Drifters in the house tonight, and they just got back from Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Honey Drifters in the house tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Honey Drifters in the house tonight, and they just got back from Washington, D.C. I think they got something they want to say.
That's cool. That's cool.
Billy. 3. Once again, give it up for DJ Billy Busch. Now, I'm a brag. Yeah. Connecticut's one of Connecticut's very own, straight out of Norwalk, Connecticut. But as we all know, this thing called hip-hop is universal. It done went worldwide. So it's not where you're originally from, it's where you're at right now and what you're doing with where you're at right now. So next up, no further ado, this young man, I tell you, we was in the, what they call the green room? I still don't know why they call it the green room, but anyway, we were up there eating and stuff, and he had his #1 fan with him, by the way, his lovely wife. Oh yeah, I'm gonna call you out, yes. Because you know, when you do this type of stuff, you need a woman that's gonna understand, what are you doing, honey? You're in that basement for hours playing. Well, I mean, come on, we gotta spend time together. But she understands, because he said, I spent hours and hours watching certain people. And how many years you got? And Billy's one of the guys you've been watching, right? Oh, yeah. I looked up to Billy for over 20 years. Say that again. I want them to hear that.
I said I looked up to DJ Billy Busch for over 20 years. He's the reason why I got into like scratching and all that stuff, because I heard him cutting up on the radio real crazy. And I was like, how the hell is he doing that? So spent the next 20 years trying to figure that out.
And I think he's kind of figured some of this out. He's got it, Joe. And like we all said, we all was inspired by somebody or something. And it's great to give homage to those who help inspire you. And next up is my man, DJ Ragoza.
here for me and my DJ. Cha-cha-cha to this Mardi Gras. I'm the dopest female that you've heard thus far. And I do get better, the voice gets wetter, nobody gets hurt.
As long as you let her
do my thing with an 89 swing. The dopeness, I write, I guarantee delight. Until the hip-hop maniac, the uptown brainiac in full effect, MC Light is back. And better than before, as if that was possible. My competition, you'll find them in the hospital. Visiting time, I think it's on a Sunday. But notice, they only get one day to shine. The rest of the week is mine. And I'll blind you with the science that the others have yet to find. So come along and I'll lead you the right way. Just clap your hands to the words I say, come on.
And I'm back, my ace in the hole is this brand new track. I'ma slow it up and speed it up, and now you're gonna eat it up. Listen to the funky beat, my tongue is gonna beat it up. I did it, but the devil didn't make me. I did it for the suckers who tried to shake and fake me. Proving the point that I'm the serious joint. You can roll me up and pump me, and then I'll anoint your head with oil. Lots of oil, make it run like water, watch it boil. Cause I made them play it, made them say it, made them okay it, made them obey it. Milky, and I'm back. My ace in the hole is this brand new track. I'ma slow it up and speed it up, and now you're gonna eat it up. Listen to the funky beat, my tongue is gonna pull it up. I did it, but the devil didn't make me. I did it for the suckers who tried to shake and fake me. Proving the point that I'm the serious joint. You can roll me up and pump me, and then I'll anoint your head with oil. Lots of oil, make it run like water. Watch it boil, cause I made them play it, made them say it, made them okay it, made them obey it. Prince of the rock, the rock, Prince of the poor, Prince of the poor, Prince of the poor, Prince of the growl is on the prowl. How you like me now, punk? You live and foul. Here's what my game is, here is what my aim is. A washed up rapper needs a wash up. My name is Fuck.
You know what? Yo, peep this. Lottie Dottie, we like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're just someone that's on the mic. And when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. For all of y'all, keeping y'all in health. Just to see you smile and enjoy yourself. Cause it's cool when you cause a cozy condition and that we create. Cause that's our mission. So listen to what we say. Because this type of shit, it happens every day. I woke up around 10 o'clock in the morning. I gave myself a stretcher. I'm on and yawning. Went to the bathroom to wash up. Had the soap on my face and my hands up on a cup. I said, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the top choice of them all? There was a rumble dumble. 5 minutes it lasted. The mirror said, you can see this bastard.
He having fun with, ain't he?
Real silly, lives in the Bronx, but she comes from Philly. It's no secret that she smokes illy, acting all wild like a dumb hillbilly. But there is Judy, she got a nice booty. Homeboy say she's a real fly cutie. I gotta do my duty to pull that beauty, but she stuck like glue to her main man Rudy.
For a while to the name of the place.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we got MC Shan and Molly Hall in the house tonight. They just came from tour. They want to tell you a little story about where they come from.
Hit it. We'd like to dedicate this record to all the DJs in the entire world. You say you wanna be a DJ. You say you wanna be a DJ. You say you wanna.
Give it up.
Be a DJ. What must you do to be a DJ? All right. Bring it back. Let the DJ dance out your doggone shoes. And world, get together and sing.
Give it up once again, DJ. Hey, can I get a little more heat on this mic? I feel like I got to scream in it to be heard. I think Billy, I think you're absolutely right. I think he did figure it out. And you know one thing I love about this DJ here, Ragoza? You see how much fun he was having with it? You see that smile on his face? That's what it's about. Having some fun with doing what you're doing. Now this next performer, I nicknamed him the Terminator. Y'all know the Terminator, right? I don't care what you do, he's still coming back. And this DJ here, I had the pleasure of playing along with first in Philadelphia, as well as other places. And he also has toured and he DJ'd for Lauryn Hill. Well, Lauryn Hill's DJ. You see him on YouTube. He's incredible. He's a DMC world champion just as well as Grand Wizzard Theodore. And what he's about to do, make sure you get your cameras out. And you might think you're not on Earth no more after you see this. You're like, where did this guy come from? You know I got to big you up, Supreme. We're bringing on the man known as, now look, Grandmaster Supreme.
Sing for the
I wear my sunglasses at night so I 10 minutes. Got 10 minutes, Supreme.
You big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place.
5 minutes, Supreme, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Supreme, 5 minutes. for Grandmaster Supreme. Come on, can I get a little more volume on this mic, please? Please, a little more mic. More. I told y'all, he said, like, what'd you say, Supreme? That's fun, right? That's fun. I told you, get your cameras out. Y'all gonna see something that you might have never, ever seen, not live. Not like that. That's why I call him the Terminator, y'all. It's well-deserved, because he keeps coming. And he started off real smooth, gave you a little rock here, gave you a little that. Then I said, yo, man, go ahead and just go off. And as he did it. At this time, we want to bring up the gentlemen that were on the earlier video, documentary, Connecticut's own, straight out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. They're in the building. Shaka Sean. And where is my man? Superman J, where is he? Okay, there he is. Okay, come on up. These are your skinny boys out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. On the Mega Bass Productions, along with G Records, we sponsored and we honored them last September at the Bijou Theater. And is Jock Box in the building too? Oh, Jock, where you at, Jock? Well, oh, there you go. I didn't see him. I'm sorry. This is Bridgeport's very own recording artist, the Skinny Boys. And in that picture, there was somebody, I got to acknowledge him too. He better be here. He didn't leave, did he? There was a group that Superman J spoke about earlier, was called the Superior Crush. And their DJ is in the building. He's also a legendary DJ straight out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. He's known as White Flash. White Flash, where are you, bro? White Flash, where are you? We need you up here, bro. You need to be up here, too. This is about the legends, the beats, and the grooves. This is Connecticut's own, grown, straight to the bone. And I know, I said, let's see, where is he at? Jeff Baldwin, where you at, brother? JB, just happy birthday once again. We need to have him up here. A very strong community activist, DJ, sound guy, and he's a straight shooter. He's what they call straight, no chaser. And you know what I mean by straight, no chaser. He'll give it to you straight. Straight up. Could y'all have a seat up front, please? White Flash, come on. Oh, everybody here is, in their 20s still, so we gonna have a seat now. Yeah, come on. Come on. Have a seat up front. No, we want you up front, right here. Seriously. Take a picture of this. We're going to, come on, you two, no, you belong right up here. So act like you don't. Come on, Skinny Boys. Before that, there was Superior Crush, Twice as Nice, LOD. Yes, sir. Legions of Doom, Bridgeport's very own. What's that? Just take a picture. That's all. We can't ask questions. We press for time right now. And for those who don't know, who've been running his mouth all day and all night through this thing, I am your host, straight out of Stamford, Connecticut. I go by the name of Terrible T. I've been doing this for 44 years.